Long ago. In the winter of '91, the North Pole fell strangely quiet. Outside, where the wind whistled through barren snowdrifts, and inside Santa's workshop, not a single hammer clinked or saw word. Day by day, Santa grew more and more glum. His trusty sack, usually bursting with toys, lay empty and still, draped across his workbench like a sad sigh. One frosty morning, an elf named Ember tiptoed over to Santa. She peered at his somber face. "Santa," she asked softly, "why does your sack have no toys this year?" The question made him sigh heavily. He looked down at the limp cloth in his hands. "I wish I knew," Santa murmured. "We have no materials to make the toys." And the elves, somehow their cheer has dwindled. They've been too tired or worried to craft their usual wonders. It feels like all our magic dust has blown away on a winter wind. Seeing Santa so sad broke Ember's heart. Gathering her courage, she ventured into the workshop where the other elves milled about, listless. "We have to do something," Ember told them. "We've faced challenges before. This time, we just need to find a new way." The elves glanced around, uncertain. Then an older elf spoke up. "Remember that dusty old trunk in the attic of the workshop? It's said to have emergency stashes of fabric, wood shavings, and maybe even a pinch of magic dust left by our ancestors for dark times. Could we try there?" With a spark of hope, Ember and a few elves raced to the attic stairs. There, beneath cobwebs and forgotten decorations, they found a faded trunk. Its lid creaked open to reveal scraps of sturdy fabric, wooden blocks, a tin of jingling bells, and, most precious of all, a small pouch marked "Spark of Joy." Carefully, Ember lifted the pouch. It felt warm in her palm, as though a tiny flame danced inside. Without delay, the elves set to work. They stitched the fabric scraps into patchwork dolls, carved the wooden blocks into miniature houses and reindeer figurines, and fixed little bells onto ribbons. Now and then, Ember sprinkled a glimmer of the spark of joy dust. Suddenly, the cloth seemed softer. The bells rang merrier, and the wooden toys gleamed with life. All the while, Santa watched from the doorway, his heavy gloom slowly melting. He approached the work tables, a gentle smile curving his lips. "You did all this with scraps and a bit of dust?" he asked in wonder. Ember nodded, eyes shining. "We discovered what we already had and used it with heart. That's what makes the magic real, Santa." Santa stepped forward, lifting the toys gently. The moment he touched them, he felt a wave of warmth in his chest, like the first sunrise after a long winter night. His once empty sack now filled to the brim with these newly made treasures, each one infused with the elves' determination and care. On Christmas Eve, Santa boarded his sleigh with renewed spirit. Though the toys were humble, softly stitched dolls, simple carved animals, jingly little bells, each contained the powerful essence of hope. As he delivered them around the world, children opened their gifts with bright eyes. Something about these handmade wonders glowed in their hands, reminding them that even in hard times, kindness and creativity can spark joy. From that year on, the winter of '91 became a cherished story at the North Pole, passed down through generations of elves. They called it the winter of gloom that turned to glow, and whenever challenges arose, they remembered that a bit of perseverance and a pinch of warmth could fill the emptiest sack with the brightest gifts of all.